Two Air Jordan 4s are releasing within 3 weeks of each other. One is a women's exclusive, one isn't. I don't know if I love either one, but I definitely like both. The Jordan 4 is one of those shoes. It's just really hard to mess up. Air Jordan 4 Frozen Moments. Now this shoe is releasing on August 26th for $200. And right off the bat, it really reminds me of the Jordan 4 Craft. I think that released early this year, or maybe late last year, I can't remember. The vibe and aesthetic and a bunch of materials used on the shoe, it just reminds me of that shoe. Tell me from a distance, they don't look very similar. I guess like when you really break it down, there are pretty distinct differences, like the wings. But overall, just like glancing over at both these shoes, I feel like they're pretty similar. I don't know if it's just me, probably is. Now also dropping on August 26th is the Union LA Bethy's Air Jordan 1. I just reviewed that shoe and I don't know out of these two which one I would prefer, like if I could only choose one. Honestly don't know which one I would take. I like both of them. If I had to choose, I'd probably pick this one over the Union LA Air Jordan 1s, but I don't know, it's a toss-up. Now like so many shoes, Jordan Brand just can't get their storytelling straight. So early on, when this shoe was first dubbed the Jordan 4 Frozen Moments, a lot of people thought it was referring to a commercial from the late 90s and it highlighted like certain plays from Michael Jordan's career, and I believe that commercial was for the Jordan 12. So people thought this shoe had some reference or relation to that commercial, and it was to celebrate Michael Jordan's important career highlights. But then on Jordan Brand's press release, like on their actual website, it talked about how this shoe was supposed to immortalize women's statues. So it's going for like a statuesque look. I guess that's why it's a women's exclusive. But when you go on sneakers or Nike.com and check their actual description, like right now on sneakers, it doesn't use that same wording. It mentions statues, but it doesn't mention like immortalizing women and statues. I just don't understand. I'm just so confused. There's 3 different possible stories. 2 are very similar, probably the same, but I just don't know why they don't align and like sync up with each other. It just makes no sense. Just get the storytelling straight, please. In the upper sole of the shoe, there's a mix of materials. So the most prominent material is probably that suede, and the suede is pretty nice. It's not like that super dry thin suede on the Jordan 1 Low OG Atmosphere Grey that I just reviewed. So it definitely feels more like regular suede. It's not like hairy suede, and it's not like that super soft, almost fuzzy type of suede. So it's kind of striking a good balance. And then on the mudguard, it's this semi-glossy leather in such small amounts. On this shoe, I think what they're going for, I think it kind of works. I think it looks pretty nice. And on the ankle collar as well as the eye states, it's just pretty regular nubuck. And of course it comes with the Jordan 4 netting on the side of the shoe. And unlike the Jordan 4 Craft where they covered up the netting and they made the whole netting like closed off with that suede material, this netting it's more like a regular Jordan 4. And another very distinct feature of the Jordan 4 is the wings, or the flaps, whatever you want to call it. And for this shoe particularly, it's pretty unique. Comes with metallic silver wings. It's not made out of metal, feels very light. When you tap on it, definitely tell it's not actual metal. But it's made to look like that, aesthetic, and I think that's probably one of the best things about the shoe. I love how that looks. Now according to Nike.com, the metallic silver accents are to evoke flashes of MJ's buzzer beating style. I'm not sure how this achieves that, but I guess I'll take their word for it. It is what it is. And on the booty of the shoe, because it's not an OG colorway, it comes with a Jumpman. I know that's not a hard and fast rule. Sometimes they'll put Nike Air on a non-OG colorway, but for most cases, if you see a Jumpman, you can safely assume it's probably not an OG colorway. And this flap comes in that soft TPU material, pretty standard for a Jordan 4. The Jordan 4 SB Pine Green, they changed the material up a little bit with that flap. It was like more elastic, more rubbery, it was bouncier, more springy. But this one in particular just feels like a normal Jordan 4 booty. This shoe, like other Jordan 4s, comes with a Jumpman, as well as the Flight logo underneath. And then on the inside of the tongue, comes with an upside down Air Jordan tag. So if you didn't know, back in the 80s, people would like flip the tongues out. So they did that in anticipation of people doing that. So Air Jordan is upside down. When they flip it, it'll be the right side up. And I guess they've just kept that. You can see that on the Jordan 5s as well. It's not always upside down. I don't know how they decide when to make it upside down, but this shoe, it's upside down. And the Jordan 4 comes with a polyurethane midsole with a visible Nike Air unit on the heel, as well as a Nike Air unit on the forefoot. In this midsole, it's a mix of gray as well as sail. I usually don't like sail midsoles, but something about the rest of the shoe and the upper sole, I think it fits pretty well. And the rubber outsole comes with herringbone traction as well as that cutout where you see the Jumpman, and it's a very nice looking outsole. And actually, I think the traction, even though the shoe is very old, I think the traction would still hold up. And the lacing system of the Jordan 4 is one of the most distinct features about it. So you see on the wings at the top, as well as the bottom of the eye stays, there's like multiple holes that you can put your laces through, just depending on the fit, your preference, and the size of your feet. I always just leave it default. I'm just lazy. Now this shoe, despite you paying $200 of your hard-earned money in this economy, you're not getting extra laces because Jordan Brand thinks you deserve to be a peasant. That's it. That's why they don't give extra laces for the shoe. In all seriousness though, I don't know how Jordan or Nike chooses what shoe to give like extra laces to. I feel like a lot of their cheaper shoes like Dunks, they'll give extra laces, but for like very premium high price shoes, they're like, you get no options. You are stuck. I think the off-white laces that come default on the shoe looks pretty nice. I probably would have preferred if it was just like white, like actual white, not like off-white, cream, sail, whatever. I think white would have made the shoe really pop, would have looked pretty nice. But if I'm being objective, if I'm trying to not complain as much, I think the default laces look pretty nice. Box of the shoe, pretty standard Jordan box with the Flight logo as well as the red Jumpman and the cement pattern all around. Nothing too special or unique about it. And if there's one place where they could have like really brought home that statuesque story, would have been the box, but nope, not today. And inside the box, just like you expected, nothing special. Now moving on to size and comfort, I'm a size 9.5 true to size. I do have wide feet. For Jordan 4s, I usually go up half a size. Now the Jordan 4s are notorious for being pretty tight around the toe box. So if you do have wide feet, if you go true to size, in my experience, that's really been a problem. Unfortunately, the Jordan 4 is one of those shoes for wide footers. There's just no perfect solution, because when I go up half a size, the size 10, I do feel like there's a bit of room like lengthwise. Like I do feel my feet shifting kind of up and down a little bit. But if I went down true to size at 9.5, the toe box area, it just is pretty stiff, especially before like breaking it in. It's just a bit too tight for my liking. It's not as tight as the Jordan 4 Armand Manière. That because of the padding inside, the materials used. That is a stiff and uncomfortable shoe. This one is much better. However, it's not the best. If you do have wide feet, I'd probably recommend just going up half a size. It's always better to have a slightly too loose shoe than an overly tight one. In terms of cushioning, it's pretty decent. It's more on the harder and more solid side rather than like a super soft cushioning. I will say what I really like about a lot of Jordan 4s is the materials that's used around the ankle collar padding. It just feels really nice. It's really soft. It never like creates so much friction around your ankles where you feel like it's just cutting your ankles. So I like that. So overall, if you're considering a Jordan 4 for like your main shoe that you're gonna walk with a lot, might consider something else. But if you like the aesthetic of the Jordan 4, which many people do, you're probably making an exception. Now that brings the total sole score of the Air Jordan 4 Frozen Moments to 16 out of 25. It's a pretty average score compared to all other general releases. In terms of colorway, I like it. It's very muted, it's super simple, majority gray with a hint of sail. Obviously the metallic accents really stand out, but it's a very simple and nice clean colorway. You can't go wrong with a majority gray upper sole. Material wise, I like it. I think the suede is nice. The semi-glossy leather on the mudguard feels nice. I don't generally love that kind of leather. However, in such small amounts on this shoe, with the way it kind of reflects with the metallic silver wings, as well as the mudguard, I kind of dig it. In terms of comfort, like I alluded to earlier, the Jordan 4 is just not the most comfortable shoe. I'd put it on the same level as like a Jordan 1. Not quite as bad as like an Air Force 1, where you might as well just go bare feet. The Jordan 4 is a slight notch above. It's got its like strengths in terms of the padding inside, but for wide footers, toe box, not the best. Versatility wise, I think the Jordan 4 is very popular for a reason. It's one of those rare shoes, rare basketball shoes that really crossed over into the mainstream and still has staying power. It's timeless, classic. People still love the Jordan 4. I think in terms of like general mass popularity, with the decline in hype behind the Jordan 1s, I think the Jordan 4 might have overtaken it. So easy to wear, it just looks beautiful. They really don't make shoes like this anymore. Versatility color-wise, it's a very versatile colorway. Like I said before, such a muted and kind of subtle colorway. Yeah, super easy to wear. Some people might think the metallic silver accents is a little too much. You can actually see like your reflection, so the shine might be a little too much, but in my opinion, it's in very small amounts, so it's not a huge deal. It's a very versatile shoe overall. Now, in terms of storytelling, there clearly was a story to tell here, but I think they missed the opportunity. The messaging got a little bit mixed. Press release talks about statues, Nike.com's description kind of alludes to it. Doesn't really make it clear. It's just all over the place. Overall, the execution, the communication, just could have been better. With the Jordan 4 Red Cement releasing very soon, on September 9th actually, it's a good month for people that are a fan of the shoe. I don't know too many sneakerheads that don't love the Jordan 4s. Out of these two shoes, not really sure which one I like better. I really like the Red Cement colorway, but in hand, there's something very special about these. To me, being the absolute non-disciplined, lack of self-control person that I am, I gotta keep both. So that's it. Thanks for watching Soul Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 4 Frozen moments. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes